إن الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome to Quran Page a Day. Today inshallah we will be collecting gems from Surat Quraysh, which is surah number 106 in the Noble Quran. Surah Quraysh is a Makki surah. This surah is named after the tribe that Rasool Allah ﷺ belonged to, the name of which is Quraysh. This surah has 4 verses, and this was revealed between the period 610 to 615 AD. The special thing about Surah Quraysh is, one thing is it talks about the tribe of Quraysh and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Quraysh to be grateful for all the blessings He had given to them. The second thing that's special about Surah Quraysh is that it is related to Surah Fil, which is a surah right before it. Both of these surahs, they talk about and make reference to the event that happened where a man named Abraha brought an army of elephants to destroy the Kaaba, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected the people of Makkah and the Kaaba from being destroyed by the army, which was a huge blessing. The revelation background of this surah requires hearing a short story that began long ago in the year that Rasool Allah ﷺ was born. Rasool Allah came from a very famous tribe, the name of which is Quraysh. They lived in Makkah and they had been taking care of the pilgrims who came to the Kaaba for years. The Quraysh gave water to the pilgrims and traded with them as well. Thus the Quraysh became well known and were loved for their hospitality. However, there was the Abyssinian governor of Yemen named Abraha who did not like that, and he wanted all the trade for himself. So he wanted to come to the city and destroy the Kaaba so that he could have people come over to his city. He brought a great army and elephants to destroy the Kaaba, but instead Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed him and his army. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected the Kaaba and the Quraysh. Surah Quraysh was revealed to remind the Quraysh of this blessing of Allah. The main theme of the surah is the blessings given to Quraysh. Now let's find out what is in Surah Quraysh. In the very first verse of the surah, لِإِلَافِ Quraysh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the Quraysh of the blessing that He gave to them, which was the protection from Abraha and his elephants, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the Quraysh together into one group that did not fight, which was a huge blessing. In the second verse of Surah Quraysh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them of the peace and prosperity that they have. Not only were the Quraysh friendly with each other, they were friends with all the tribes around them. They could do business during the winter and the summer and get everything they needed. The Quraysh became very wealthy because of this, and this was a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are other tribes who would be attacked by thieves or enemies when they went on caravans, but not the Quraysh. This was because the Quraysh took care of the Kaaba, and if someone hurt the Quraysh, they would worry that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might hurt them in return. The Quraysh should have been grateful for Allah's blessings by being good Muslims and listening to Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the third verse reminds the Quraysh that He had given them the Kaaba to take care of, and because of the Kaaba, everyone treated the Quraysh very nicely. The Quraysh loved the Kaaba. They thought the Kaaba was the most important thing to them, but they forgot that Allah is the Lord of the Kaaba, and He is the one who gave them these blessings. After all the good things Allah had given them, they still worshipped idols and tried to stop Rasool Allah from teaching Islam. The Quraysh should have been grateful for Allah's blessings by being good Muslims and listening to Him. In the 4th verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the Quraysh of the food that was given to them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so they would not stay hungry. Most of the tribes around the Quraysh were farmers and herders. So if there was a drought, they would have no water and their crops and animals would die. Without water, crops and animals, the tribes would go hungry or starve. But the Quraysh were not farmers or herders. They were merchants, and their city, Makkah, was a holy city of pilgrimage with its own source of water, the well of Zamzam. So when there was a drought or if food was in short supply, the Quraysh could get what they needed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them of this blessing. And then the second part of the 4th verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the Quraysh of the safety He had given to them. They were not afraid of anyone because Allah protected them from the other tribes. Because the Quraysh were the people of Makkah and the hosts of the Kaaba, they were honored by all the other tribes. The other tribes wanted to be able to come to the Kaaba and worship their idols. If they fought with the Quraysh, they would not be able to do this. Therefore, the Quraysh were safe from all other tribes. They did not need to worry about being attacked. And these were the blessings that were given to the tribe of Quraysh, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them of. Now it is time for a self-check. What are the lessons do we derive after reading this surah? Some of the questions and reminders that we need to have for ourselves are: do I recognize what blessings Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to me? Do I thank Allah for all that He has given to me? Do I thank Allah for the blessing of safe surroundings? Do I thank Allah for allowing me to thank Him? Because that is a blessing in of itself, to be able to thank Allah. And do I thank Allah for the blessings of Islam and for Him to make me a Muslim? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to fulfill the rights of the Quran. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.